The trick to having good ideas is not to sit around in glorious isolation and try to think big thoughts. The trick is to get more parts on the table. Embrace the inevitable. Productivity is for robots. What humans are going to be really good at is asking questions, being creative, and experiences. The only factor becoming scarce in a world of abundance is human attention. We have an opportunity that arrives once every 1,000 years. So we can totally change the concept of work. Complexity is the prodigy of the world. Simplicity is the sensation of the universe. We are still at the beginning of the beginning. There is only one time in the history of each planet when its inhabitants first wire up its innumerable parts to make one large machine. Later that machine may run faster, but there is only one time when it is born. The Internet is the world's largest copy machine. Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. If you think technology can solve your problems, you don't understand technology, and you don't understand your problems. Think of technology as a verb, not a noun. It provides the tools. Creative people provide the imagination. Much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless later on. Access is better than ownership. Every technology is created out of the human imagination. To maximize your discovery, you must befriend serendipity. A good question is worth 1,000,000 good answers. Be optimistic. It's the best choice. Even the most seemingly autonomous, powerful technology is just the length and shadow of a human. You'll be paid in the future based on how well you work with robots. Technology wants what life wants: increasing efficiency, opportunity, emergence, complexity, diversity, specialization, ubiquity, freedom, mutualism, beauty, complexity, and intelligence. The greatest invention of the last 2,000 years was the invention of invention. The superproductive network economy demands that we clearly and cleanly separate our work and our life. We are no longer at a point where it is enough to think different. We need to think opposite. Where there is an open mind, there will always be a frontier. The solution to regret is gratitude. To learn it's not necessary to show up in a classroom. As we increase our understanding of the origins of life, otherness, and the mechanics of kinship, a new ethic of species lingers just beyond our immediate grasp. The dirty secret of the Internet is that all this distraction and interruption is immensely profitable. In the network economy, producing more increases not only your resources, but your liabilities. Our role models are no longer war heroes, but business gurus and entrepreneurs. The laws of the future are unwritten. It's up to us to write them. By creating things, by thinking always about how we can change the world, and by striving to leave it a better place, we build our own legacy. Efficiency is the straightest path to hell. To be in constant chase is exhausting, and to repeat it at cosmos behest every 48 hours is to hamstring your efficiency and your sanity. We don't have a theory of devices. We don't have a fundamental theory of tools in the same way that we have a theory of books or art or storytelling. Seek out diversity. Diversity gotta work. The problem of an evolving infrastructure in the network economy is that every new invention requires a scaffolding of tradition to hold it up. The central economic imperative of the new economy is thus to amplify relationships. Fail often. Fail in a way that doesn't kill you. This is the new ideal for life and work. Screen culture is a world of seesaws where we teeter between the desire to be noticed and the fear of being too visible. Instead of determining what to make, the economy of the future will determine what to make happen. The biggest mistake we make about scarcity is not understanding that it is almost always a constraint of our imagination, not of our resources. Learning how to learn is the ultimate survival skill. If you want to create something great and timeless, you should be feared and loved in equal amounts. Wealth flows directly from innovation, not optimization. That is, wealth is not gained by perfecting the known, but by imperfectly seizing the unknown. Questioning the seemingly unquestionable premises of our way of life is the most powerful tool we have for social transformation. In an era of superabundance, focusing on what you do not have is anachronistic. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are only a few. Perhaps our era will determine that the journey of becoming is more significant than the destination of being. Sharing personal information is the currency of intimacy. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. In the long term, the future is decided by optimists. Real change is difficult at the beginning. Without the leaping of the imagination, we lose the excitement of possibilities. The most valuable thing you can do in this economy is surprise someone. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Technology is anything that moves faster than you do. What we call technology is simply the stuff we haven't internalized yet. The most successful and enduring innovations often result from a series of small insights carefully connected together. Don't solve problems, pursue opportunities. Intelligence is not a single dimension, so smarter than humans is a meaningless concept. Understanding complexity gives us a chance to appreciate the beauty of the cosmos. Imagination is the only nation where your passport is never denied. The highest form of technology is the one that disappears. The future is here. It's just not evenly distributed. Every new invention changes the world in ways both intentional and unexpected. Creating something powerful enough to be abused is evidence that you've invented something very worthwhile. Seek not to follow in the footsteps of the wise, seek what they sought. Personalization is not a trend, it's the key to modernity. The proper response to a lousy idea is not to stop thinking, it is to come up with a better idea. To invent the future, you need to be in the wrong business to begin with. A good way to invent the future is to predict it. Almost everything important is at first opposed by stakeholders in the status quo. Be patient. You will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did. Humans are the reproductive organs of technology. We multiply manufactured artifacts and spread them around. The universe is a symphony of strings, and we are merely the dust dancing to its tune. The purpose of a system is what it does. There is, after all, no point in pretending. Ideas evolve not by chance or destiny, but by trial and error. Information is the natural enemy of any problem. Change is inevitable, and the disruption it causes often brings both inconvenience and opportunity. I think complexity is mostly sort of crummy stuff that is there because you can't make it out of anything else that's cheaper. Complexity is the last thing you want. Technology provides feasibility, but the market provides utility. The internet is not a thing, it's an agreement. I define singularity as the last invention that man need ever make, provided that invention is an artellect. If we were the gods to our creations, we would constantly be fighting extinction, so we keep our creations less than immortal. Every kind of science can be thought of as a different kind of dance of signals. Our central job is not just to predict the future, but to prevent it. The only way to maximize the future possibilities and to minimize the negative ones really is to work on them. Evolution is a tinkerer, not an engineer. To me, the kernel of this speculative thinking is the idea that humans are not the end point of evolution. The frontiers of the future will not be the stars, but the edges of our minds. No one flunks a race because it is too short or drops out because they're winning. The ordering principle of any artificial evolution must be some kind of self-organization. The world beyond isn't made of material, it's made of connections, ideas, freedom, and transformations. Togetherness is a very important ingredient to family life. The realm of the born all, that is nature, and the realm of the made technosphere are becoming one. Knowing how to make stuff is cool, but knowing how to remake yourself is what you need to know most. Machines are for answers, humans are for questions. I think the way to manage is not to have 50,000 people reporting to one person. It's to have a more matrixed organization. Progress is not inevitable. It's up to us to create it.